everybody, Alina here at the Montana Audubon Center. Welcome to the Insect Investigations activity. Please follow along with me as we go through the activity together. Alright, so part 1 says that it's springtime and the insects are finally out. Now your job is to go outside. You can go anywhere. You can find a sidewalk crack, you can turn over logs, you can turn over rocks, you can look inside the bark of a tree, you can look under leaves, wherever there could be insects, I want you to look. Your job is to find that insect and then put that insect inside of a little jar that you have already gathered. And then you have to draw a picture of it. So I happen to have found an insect a few minutes ago. I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to put it in a container right now, but it is a box elder bug. We're going to hope it does not fly away before I can show it to you. So part 2 of your activity is to label the drawing that you came up with 6 different body parts that all insects have. This includes 3 different body segments, the head, thorax, and the abdomen, as well as 6 legs, compound eyes, and antennae.
Hey everyone, one of my favorite ways to learn is through songs, and I learned this song while I was down in Georgia, and it's a song to teach us all about the body parts of insects, and it goes to the rhythm and tone, the beat of head, shoulders, knees, and toes, so you should be able to pick it up pretty quickly. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Compound eyes, antenna, and 6 legs. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen.
All right, so from the video that Hannah just showed us, we now know the body parts that all insects have. I am going to label those body parts on the insect that I drew, the box elder bug. Remember, it's okay if you don't know what insect you drew. Your job is to just label the body parts as best as you can. You might have to guess, and that's okay, but give it your best shot. Here's what I'm going to do. So here's my box elder bug. I know all insects have 6 legs. I've got my 3 legs on one side, 3 legs on the other. I'm going to label those legs. Notice I have 3 on one side and 3 on the other, and they're all coming off of the thorax area, which you can't really see, but it's underneath the wings of the box elder bug. I've clearly got my head right here. I've got my 2 antennae. I have my compound eyes, which as you can see are fairly large. And then I've got my thorax, which is going to be in the area right where my pencil is, underneath the wing parts. And I've got my abdomen, which is the largest body segment of my insect. Your drawing does not have to be this complicated. That's just fine as long as you can visualize those 6 different body parts. All right, part 3 says, how do you think those structures, the ones that you labeled, help the animal survive? Choose 2 structures you labeled and describe how those unique structures help that insect survive. So I'm going to talk about, and I'll talk about with you, whereas you would actually write this in your journal, I'm going to talk about a part on the legs that I noticed as well as the antenna. So the antenna on my box elder bug are really, really long. And these are sensory body parts, so they help the insect sense what's around them. You can often see them quivering, and they're sensing what's right in front of the insect and what's right around it. Just like a cat would use its whiskers for sensory as well. The legs are fairly long on the box elder bug too. And if you notice on the very, very end of the legs where our toes would be, there are little tiny parts that almost look like toes. And they're able to help that box elder bug grip things as it runs up walls, walks over leaves, walks in the sidewalk, and just scampers all around like we often see them do. All right, so part 4 says, during the fall field trip, we learned that animals and plants require a specific habitat for survival. Similarly, your insect requires a very specific habitat. I would like you to answer the following 3 questions in your journal. I'm going to answer them out loud for you here, and we'll talk about them together. So I'm here where I found my box elder bug. It's an area where there's some grass growing, there's some dead shrubs, and there's also some dried leaves on the ground. So number 1 says, what do you think your insect eats? Well, I happen to know that box elder bugs suck the juice and a different material out of plants, just like these grass stems right here. So my guess is that my box elder bug feeds off of certain parts of the tall grass shoots. Number 2 is, Where does your insect get their water? I know there's not an obvious place where there's water right around here, but that when it rains and dew in the morning will leave tiny water droplets on some of the plant material around here. So my guess is that box elder bug gets some of its water from the dew or the moisture from the rain. They also get some from the grass that they eat because it's very high in moisture content. And number 3, what does your insect use for shelter? There's all sorts of dead leaves around here, and my guess is that those box elder bugs are burying underneath the leaves, maybe toward the ground inside the grass, underneath some pieces of bark, any place they find that provides adequate shelter. Now you might not know the answers to all these questions, and it's just fine to take a guess. Look what's around you and think about how your animal would best survive in this habitat you discovered them in.